It started with a static hiss. Jenna Morris had just moved into her new apartment on the edge of Detroit's east side, a low-rent high-rise with flickering hallway lights and paper-thin walls. She was 28, single and broke, having just clawed her way out of a bad breakup and a worse job. The apartment wasn't much, but it was hers. She painted the walls a calming gray and set up her old furniture from her college days. A second-hand TV sat in the corner of her living room, mostly unused. That's where it started. The first night she heard the static, it was just after 3 a.m. She awoke with a sense that something was off. The air felt thick, like a thunderstorm was brewing indoors. She sat up and saw her TV glowing faintly. That was strange. She hadn't even plugged it in. The screen flickered white, then black, then back to static. The hiss filled the room, louder than it should have been. She got up, walked toward it, heart thumping. As she reached for the cord to unplug it, a shadow flashed across the screen. Just a second. Blink and you'd miss it. It looked like a man standing behind her. She spun around. No one. Jenna yanked the power strip. The TV went dark, so did the room. For a few minutes, she stood frozen, her breath shallow, before retreating to bed, chalking it up to stress. But the next night, it happened again. 3:03 a.m. The same hiss, the same flickering screen. This time, the figure was clearer, closer. A tall, lanky man with no face, just a smear of shadow where eyes should be. He stood in a doorway behind her, but her apartment had only one door, no archways, no dark corners like the one she saw on the screen. She recorded the TV with her phone, but when she played the video back, there was nothing, just static. Sleep became a luxury she couldn't afford. Every night, at the same time, the dead signal returned. She tried getting rid of the TV, dragging it to the dumpster 2 blocks away. That night, she woke to static again. The TV was back, right where it had been. Her screams brought no help. The neighbors, she realized, were almost never home. The hallway lights flickered more often now. Sometimes they shut off completely. Desperate, she contacted the landlord, a man named Mr. Rich. He was slow to respond but eventually showed up, a hunched, narrow-eyed man with yellowing teeth. "You sure you didn't just dream it?" he said, tapping the side of his temple. "I'm not dreaming," she snapped. "It keeps happening at the same time, same thing. I throw the TV out and it comes back. I didn't even move it in here." He stared at her, silent for a beat too long. Then he said, "If you didn't bring it in, maybe it never left." What the hell does that mean? But he was already backing away. "You'll get used to it," he said, just before the elevator doors closed. She didn't. A week passed. Jenna stopped sleeping. Shadows crept at the edge of her vision during the day. The man in the TV was now appearing outside the screen, in reflections, mirrors, windows, even her phone camera. She saw him standing behind her in the rearview mirror while driving. She nearly wrecked her car. Her last straw came one night when she was showering and heard the static hiss echoing from the living room, heart hammering. She stepped out, dripping water, and peeked around the corner. The TV screen was dark, but someone was sitting on her couch. The man, the one from the TV. She didn't breathe, didn't blink. He turned his head toward her. There were no features, just noise. His face was a shifting blur of static and black void. Then he stood up. She screamed and ran, slamming the bathroom door, locking it. She could hear footsteps, slow, deliberate. They didn't sound like a recording. They sounded real, heavy. A whisper came through the bathroom vent. "You shouldn't have watched." She packed a bag and ran. She spent the night in her car, parked outside a gas station. Her hands trembled as she held her phone and Googled everything she could think of. Cursed TVs, paranormal static, Detroit urban legends. Nothing fit. Nothing helped. But one post on an old message board caught her eye. "Death signal is real. It only finds people who live alone. They see the signal first, then him. Once you see him outside the screen, you're already marked. There is no off switch." The post was from 2008. The user's profile had been deleted. Jenna tried sleeping in hotels and friends' homes. The signal followed. Even in daylight she would hear it. The low hiss, like breath in her ear. She unplugged everything. Phones, laptops, TVs. Didn't matter. The signal found her in dreams now. And in those dreams, she always ended up back in the apartment. Always in front of that TV. And he was always there. Closer each time. She started to forget things. Dates, names, her own address. Once, she forgot her reflection. It didn't move when she did. One morning, after another sleepless night, Jenna woke up in her apartment. She didn't remember going back. The air was stale, cold. The TV was on, but this time there was no static, just a single phrase repeating, "Return to where it started." She understood. Jenna drove to the building's basement, a place she hadn't dared explore. The laundry room down there hadn't worked in years. Rumors said someone had died down there, tangled in a broken dryer belt. No one used it. The moment she opened the basement door, she felt it, like walking into a vacuum. No sound, no light, just darkness and cold. At the far end of the hallway, a door was open. A flickering screen glowed inside. She walked in. Dozens of old CRT televisions lined the walls, each on a different channel, but all of them showed the same image, her, standing there, in that room, from different angles, and behind her, the man. Taller now, realer. She didn't turn around. The static was deafening. Her body locked up, muscles seizing, unable to move. She saw her reflection in the nearest screen, eyes wide, mouth open, screaming, but no sound came out. Then everything went black.